Hey guys, today we're talking about DJI Mini 2. This is going to be a long-term review. Would I still buy it? Is it still worth it in 2021? So 8 months later, over 250 days, it's been one hell of a ride. So this is the DJI Mini 2. I hope you enjoyed that segment there. All those shots on the DJI Mini 2. I've had great times flying this over the last year. Would I still recommend it to you? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's just break this down into a few different segments and let's get on with the video. Let's just cut straight to the chase. If you want a small portable drone, this drone is it. It is perfect under that category of 250 grams. If you need extra features like active track, not so much. We'll talk about that today, but for most people, this is going to be good enough. If you're thinking about the DJI Mini SE or the Mavic Mini or another budget drone, don't. Just beg, borrow, steal, wait a bit longer, ask for an early birthday present. It's worth it. You've got a 4K 30 camera on this, which is really good quality. Battery life's about 25 minutes of actually in-air battery life flying time, but you've also got on the back a USB-C port, and that can now be charged and fully recharged with a USB-C power bank or any other power bank which has got a USB-C attachment. So this is great. You just have the one battery and you can charge this on the go in between locations. That's good, and that's a feature which you don't really get on a lot of other drones. So that's great to see. The DJI Fly app is excellent. It's nice and easy to use. It's also got a fly editor built in so you can edit your photos and videos. And the controller, although yes, it's a bit big and bulky, it's also fantastic. It packs a really decent battery in here, so you're going to get about 10 flights before you're going to need to actually charge the controller, which is fantastic. The sticks just fit in at the bottom, which is nice, and it just feels perfect in your hand, and the whole well-built design of it is really good, so I don't really mind that it is actually a bit bulky. I don't mind that at all. The signal on this drone, OcuSync 2.0, it's going to be able to fly further than you possibly need. You don't really need to go that far at all, but it also means that that signal in the areas around cities and around the areas where you are might be interference. It's also got a really good signal on it because of that OcuSync 2.0. You've got quick shots built into this, so if you're at really nice locations and you want the actual system to do all the flying for you, drag a box around you and it will get some really nice shots with the active track, and then you can just put them straight on social media. So it is really easy to use and it's got some really nice features. At the moment, this is the best sub 250 gram drone out there by a long stretch. Why it's a perfect travel drone, I see friends' photos and they're at these really nice locations, but they're always on maybe a smartphone or a camera from ground level, and the drone side of me thinking, I wish they had a drone and they can get some photos in the air or different angles or something. Just make it look really decent and then just add to those photos they've taken. And that's why this is perfect, because it just fits in your pocket, it's small and compact, and it enables you to get those angles you probably will miss if you don't have an actual drone. Now people are worried about practicing flying the drone. Can they've got the time and effort to go and do this? And this drone is really easy to fly. Just find an open field. I've done loads of videos on actual tutorials about this drone, so go and check them out and just practice, have a bit of patience, and you'll pick this up in no time. For me, I think this drone's ace, but you need to decide whether this drone is for you. Do you need those features like the active track? It has no tracking capabilities on this, so if you're out and you'll go for a walk or a run or a hike or cycle around something, it won't be able to track you. It has no tracking capability. There's no obstacle avoidance, so if you're flying in the tree, it won't stop, it'll just keep going. But it does make you a better manual pilot though, because without the actual obstacle avoidance, you need to be in control of that drone 100% of the time. If you see an object or a wall or a tree, it's down to you to pull back and stop that drone crashing, rather than thinking, right, the drone is going to stop anyway, I've got active track, I can just fly around like a lunatic. But it enables you to fly better as a manual pilot, and then once you've got that, then move up to maybe a different drone and you've got all the features. But it is a small drone, it's got to stay under the 250 gram category, so you're not going to get the features in here which you might want. If you do want all them features, that's where the DJI Air 2S lives, and you can pick that up with all them features, and that is a phenomenal drone currently. But for most people, if you don't need all them features and you just want a travel drone for photos and videos, this is the one. To get the best out of this drone, just pick up an extra battery. So you've always got 2 batteries, and then just charge it on the go with that USB-C charging I mentioned before. And then some ND filters. I use Freewell and Skyry. I'll link them in the description below. ND filters for this are essential, and you can get the best footage possible by using some ND filters. They're probably the best investment you can make for an accessory for this drone. So the question is the DJI Mini 3 or the 2S is going to be coming out hopefully around November time. So would I still recommend you buying this now in the latter half of 2021? Would I still buy it? Now the question comes down to, is it going to be enough maybe to upgrade if you've already got this drone? Could you wait if you don't have this drone? And is that upgrade going to be enough? So potentially we're going to see a 4K 60, which is going to be a bump from 4K 30. So that would be nice. A front and rear obstacle avoidance is expected to see as well. So yeah, it's going to have some nice features if we see those. Is it going to be enough for you? I'd like to know in the comments if it's going to be enough for you to upgrade. What I would probably do, and this is the impatient side of Darren here, is I couldn't wait. I would just go out and buy this. If I didn't have this drone, I'd buy this drone and have some great fun out of it, and then I'll probably see what happened in November when that new drone comes out. Is it going to be enough for me to upgrade? It might just have a little increment spec bumps, in which case thinking, no, I'll hang on and wait for the DJI Mini 4 or 3S, whatever it turns out to be. But I would probably do that. If it's great and you need them features and you're like, I can't wait for that, I really need that, then sell this. These hold their value really well, and then look at upgrading. But it all comes down to whether you're going to need them features, and if you can wait. If you can, then hold it out and wait to see what November brings. But for me, I personally couldn't. I'd be clicking on that link now and buying that drone and getting it tomorrow and out flying. I just couldn't wait. Mini 2 is brilliant. They hold the value well, and it's going to be good enough for most people for the next couple of years. If you want these extra features, then you can also upgrade, but we'll talk about that in a second. DJI are also fast at putting out app updates and firmware updates. They're not always brilliant. We have documented them on the channel a lot, but majority of them are good, and to their credit, they do sort the problems out pretty quick. So they always are putting out new firmware updates, little tweaks, little things you can do, little features. So that's great to see. Most of the manufacturers aren't as quick at putting them out. So as an actual company, the feedback, getting hold of them, the refresh program, you're not going to go wrong with a reputable company like this. We touched on before about the Fly app, and as a whole, using the actual drone flying, the experience of the app needs to be great. At the moment, there's a dimming issue with the iPhones, but that's more of an iPhone issue. Flying on the actual Fly app, it's so easy to use. The way it's set out is nice, everything is laid out brilliantly. It's good for both beginners and pros. There's pro settings, so there's manual controls on there, so you can change all your different values. You can add on some ND filters and have full control of their manual settings. So the actual Fly app, just of ease of use, is spot on, and something which is a really good plus point with not only this drone, any drone that DJI are making currently. So I would suggest buying this drone. I highly recommend it. I recommend it to all friends and family as a perfect either beginner drone or just a drone just to have as your A drone. Then maybe look at, once you've been flying this, decide whether you actually do like flying. Have you got that drone bug? You might think, oh, it's alright to do it every now and then, and it just gathers dust pretty quick, in which case just keep this drone. You don't really need to step up. But if you are then, and you probably will be, heavily involved in the whole drone game and you're interested in it, then look at then doing your Part 107 in the US or your Canadian pilot's license or the A2 CFC, and then once you've done that, you've then got that license to be able to fly in more areas, in different areas, more opportunities to make money, and then more chances of flying better drones, such as the DJI Air 2S, the Pro series, even goes up higher as all the bigger drones that different manufacturers make. But with an Air 2S, we'll just use that as an example. You've then got active track, you've then got different obstacle avoidances, you've got one in sensors, you've got hyperlapse, you've got so many different features because that drone's bigger, better wind performance, just better in general. So if you are looking into getting that, maybe step up in a couple of years or a year's time or maybe a month's time, depending on how into this bug you get, that is something to look at. But for majority of you out there as a beginner, just getting into the whole drone market, the DJI Mini 2 is great stepping stone, and then you can decide whether to carry on this or just keep this drone. So to wrap it up, I love this drone. I've tested it and flown it in so many places, and it's given me so much enjoyment. It's been some iggly issues with the horizon line and different firmware updates, but the good outweigh the bad by so much. And I fly this drone pretty much every day. I recommend it to anyone who ever asks, what drone should I pick up as my first drone? This is the drone. Currently, this is the GOAT, this is the king, this is the queen, this is the best sub 250 gram drone out there by a massive mile. I would like more competition. I'd like Autel, like Skydo, to release a sub 250 gram drone. Let's give DJI some competition. That would be great to see, especially with like Skydo with their autonomous programming and the way they work. It's amazing. Can you imagine seeing that in a small sub 250 gram drone? I would be first in line to buy that. But at the moment, they don't exist. So DJI Mini 2 is the king, the queen, the GOAT, just as I said, until the Mini 3 comes out, and that probably will carry on its legacy. But at the moment, this is the best. So if you want a small 250 gram drone, a drone which you can fly in more places, and it's great, good quality, this is the one. If you've got that Mini 2, let me know in the description below. Put DJI Mini 2 fan, just so I know, and I'll feed back to you. Take care, guys. Let me know. Do you love this drone? Are you a bit bored of this drone? Are you hoping for the next one? Or are you going to keep it? Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.